I've saved my progress as gleefullyangrygang.ai. And in this exercise, I want to recolor the artwork. So I'm looking at him and thinking, the orange doesn't really suit him. He should be more of a fiery red. Really gleefully menacing, don't you know? And so I'm going to achieve this effect using the recolor artwork feature that we saw in the previous chapter. And we'll see how when you recolor an instance inside of Illustrator, you actually affect the underlying symbol definition. All right, so I'm going to click on the central tiki. And notice he is an instance because he's surrounded by a big rectangle and we're not seeing his many anchor points. Then I'll go up here to the control panel and I'll click on the multicolored recolor artwork icon in order to bring up this dialog box on screen. Now, I don't have any color groups at work inside of this document, so there's no sense in even seeing that right half of the dialog box. I'm going to go ahead and hide it, and then I'm going to switch over to Edit in order to bring up the color wheel, and I'm going to link all the colors together so that I can move them in mass, and then I could just drag this guy right here around in order to change the color of that tiki mask. Now, currently, thanks to my modification, that is, this particular color is now set to 24.56 degrees. It was originally 21.25 for what it's worth, which is a reddish shade of orange, but I want to change it to more of an orangish shade of red. So I'm going to reduce this hue value to 7 degrees like so, and then press the Tab key, and that goes ahead and makes this guy red in the face. In fact, it makes everybody red in the face. I haven't just modified the one instance, I'm modifying the underlying symbol definition. Now, normally Illustrator doesn't work this way. If a command can't be applied to an instance, if it has to be applied to the underlying symbol definition, then it would be dimmed. And if you can apply it to an instance, then it just affects the instance and nothing more. For example, the drop shadow, when we applied it to the instances, affected each one of the instances independently, as did the rotation value and the scale and so forth. But where recolor artwork is concerned, we're actually hitting the underlying symbol definition. All right, now looking at this, I'm not so comfortable with some of the purples that are at work inside of this artwork, so I'm going to try to figure out what those purples are here for a moment. I suspect it's this gang right there, and I guess I could just unlink the colors and try dragging them around. That's what I'll do. I'll click on the link icon to turn it off, and then I'll grab one of these guys that's drifting into the purple territory, and I'll drag it to a new location like so, and see what updates on screen. That's the crease under his eye. Very interesting. And then I'll drag this one to a new location, and that should be those. It is. And so I've managed to change all of the stripes up here at the top of the totem, those carvings, and that looks pretty good to me. I'm happy with that. Then I'll go ahead and click OK in order to accept the effect. Now, here's the intriguing thing about this. Everybody changed, right? And just to confirm that, yes, indeed, I changed the underlying symbol definition, I'll go ahead and bring up the symbols panel, and I can see that this guy, this little tiki idol symbol, the thumbnail is looking red. And this is as big as I can make my thumbnails, by the way. They don't get any bigger than this. You do have the option of viewing your symbols in a list form if you want to. Over here from the flyout menu, you can choose small list view or large list view, but that doesn't give you any bigger thumbnails. Anyway, I think this is fine, actually, but here's what I want you to see. If I press Control-Z or Command-Z on the Mac to undo my modification, all of the instances change back to orange, and the little thumbnail changes to orange as well. If I press Control-Shift-Z or Command-Shift-Z on the Mac, then all of my instances change to red, and the symbol definition, as represented by the thumbnail, changes to red as well. So again, recolor artwork, when applied to an instance, actually affects the underlying symbol definition. So what do you do if you want to apply a local color adjustment to one of your instances? Well, I'll show you one way to pull that off in the next exercise.